Welcome back to the WatchTower Film Podcast, the film review podcast on the Towercast Network by Cinephiles for Cinephiles. We're on week 3 of our OG blockbuster month, and I'm sorry that we've missed an episode or two. As you can hear in my voice, I'm not quite at 100%. I was sick for a little bit there.
Yep, you were.
And then we had some dude in town shooting something, and we had to make time for that too. So,
we can say
Your
it.
mic's unmuted, by the way.
what?
We can talk about it or not?
Yeah, I mean, it's public
No, we
now.
can't talk about it.
No, we can't talk
NDA.
about it. You signed
It's
an
a lot of
NDA.
exposure for El Paso, dude.
Dude, it's all over the fucking news.
Can't talk
Anyways,
about it.
you know, go check it out. You might find something interesting. I'm sure at some point we'll have a story about it. Pretty cool story, but we can't quite divulge that yet.
Will it be a podcast episode?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a podcast episode.
We'll talk about one of his films.
In the meantime, we're here to talk about Steven Spielberg's 1993 Jurassic Park on the podcast.
Sondheim.
Not Sondheim. There's not a Sondheim, actually. You just combine two different directors from two different mediums. Sondheim and Soderbergh. Good job.
Not even
Eric,
Post
show
can
me
fix
that.
that.
Joining me today are my fellow co-host, Mr. Michael Lavelle, offering a cinematography perspective.
As per usual.
Is that why you wore your Godzilla shirt today?
I was looking for a large reptile. I couldn't find any dinosaurs.
They're going to be doing this shit all episode. It's going to annoy the fuck out of me.
No,
Yeah.
Mr. John Eric Castro offering an acting perspective.
And I'm the one that picked this film. It is in my
It is
top
your
5.
choice. That's right. You
Yeah.
did pick this one, and I'm going to ask why. Before I do,
your eyes, your choice.
Mr. Eric Sanchez joining us because this is the film that got him into film, period. One of his favorite films of all time, if
Favorite
not your favorite film of all
Yeah,
time.
it's
Right?
my
Number
favorite.
one.
Number one.
Thunder's here to join us too. If you guys
called
caught that on
lightning.
camera, lightning. I heard
Yeah.
stuff, so therefore it's thunder.
And last,
Yeah, hey, it's thunder.
What's the Thunder song? Fuck
Thunder
you,
Buddies.
Thunder.
You should suck my dick.
And singing the Thunder Buddy song, Mr. Austin Young. Make sure we're sounding good on the ones and twos back there. I'm your humble film servant, Carlos Autora, offering a writing
offering a writing and directing perspective, we have Carlos M. Della Torre. Up to bat.
That hairline's somewhere.
Is it gone?
I mean, it's there.
I've been needing a haircut, man. It's hot.
And-
This humidity's not good for my hair, guys.
Yup,
Hopefully
yup,
you
yup,
enjoy
yup, yup.
the newest member of the WatchTower podcast and beyond, Gary.
Oh, yeah, Gary. He's,
Gary, care to give us a couple words?
If that motherfucker moves, I'm gonna shoot it. You understand me?
Yes,
You understand what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I've seen too many duendes in Mexico
Yeah,
videos back in the
yeah.
day.
punt that
We're
motherfucker.
just about to talk.
Yeah,
That
fuck
motherfucker talks, I'm gonna shoot it. You understand me?
I must not be high enough.
I'm sorry, he only speaks Spanish.
Jerry sound like a.
Pues es un duende de México, güey. Pues a huevo.
That forgot.
How about you smoke your cigarette and shut the fuck?
You know.
Well,
All right,
Gary got me
Jurassic
in
Park.
this
Here we are, OG Blockbuster Month, and this by far is an OG Blockbuster. I think it's hilarious that 3 out of the 4 films we're going to talk about are Steven Spielberg.
one. What do you mean? They're all Steven Spielberg
No,
or Sondheim, one of the two,
nope, definitely not. Unless it's a musical.
probably.
Imagine if Jurassic Park was a musical.
Hell no.
Eric, we got to work on
That's
something
wrong.
here.
Fuck no.
You understand what I'm saying? Huh?
No.
Huh? You got me.
Rah rah Rasputin.
All of you are the reason why. All of you are the reason why musicals are so misrepresented. Misrepresented, rather.
Nah, they do that by themselves.
Maria.
Why this, Castro?
You know, I've never seen up to that day in my life dinosaur movie that was this epic.
You still haven't, you mean?
No. When I was a kid, this was
Ah.
like the first one. I really wanted to be like a paleontologist. What is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you said it
paleontologist.
right. Yeah, no.
Archaeologist.
No.
Believe
Either
in
one.
yourself.
Paleontologist.
Either one works.
Archaeologist is Indiana Jones.
No.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, definitely not.
No,
Paleo.
paleontologist only
Oh, okay.
focuses
Yeah,
on
like on
studying like
tombs,
fossils.
falls,
and stuff.
Yeah, from the
Archaeologist
Paleo
is, like,
era.
old, like artifacts from civilizations.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
Although this is called Jurassic Park, and there's a lot of from the
Triassic period.
Triassic,
Cretaceous. No,
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous era.
Corrosive.
Okay, we get it. All y'all went to college, okay?
No, yeah,
Not dinosaur college.
I had dinosaur books growing up.
I had Dino Nuggies growing up.
I just had a dino cock. But beyond that,
I know.
They are
Wait.
bird related.
Yeah, they didn't have any penises, so.
not the ones in this movie.
Yeah. Not the way I use.
Not the way I use this movie. Moving on.
What's that in the front there, next to Gary?
Oh, pumpkin.
There's a VHS
Oh, I'm sorry.
that Mr. Sanchez was so kind enough to bring. Do anybody out there know what a VHS is anymore?
Yeah. What does it stand for? Genuine question.
I don't know. I think it's like video high
Hi-Fi, maybe?
No, it's an S.
high sound mask.
What's the difference between VHS and VCR?
Video home system.
Oh, makes sense.
The VCR is a player. The VHS is the tape.
It's a system. That tape is a system.
Well, sure, pal.
What's the
Anyways.
what does VCR stand for?
Video cassette recorder. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I have a joke.
What's the joke? Yeah, video cassette recorders.
You can't laugh before telling it. Then it makes you look.
Oh man, I'm the worst at that, dude. I laughed
Really?
through the joke. Like,
Which dinosaur is the one that never gives up?
Oh God.
Which one?
Well, which one?
The Triceratops.
You're muted.
The mamá stays with.
I don't know that one.
He's muted.
I don't get it.
The try.
Are you
Ceratops?
serious?
So winded
I
after.
mean, my joke still hit kind of over here, so we're good.
I like it.
This guy's saying
Yeah.
something.
No, dude.
Okay, so it was just the most epic dinosaur film you'd seen up until that point.
Yeah, because as a kid, I used to play with little dinosaurs. So this one was like the first one that made me, throw me into like a little fantasy.
You made it seem like you played with little kids around your neighborhood. I used to play with little dinosaurs. just to fuck around, you.
Little dinosaurs and little ghouls,
Schools.
Man,
Ghouls, man.
Narnia must have been a rough motherfucking place to grow up in, man.
Hey, Pastor Joseph play with goblins?
Goblins, ghouls,
Goblin on-
Under the bridge and shit.
Milksticks. Somehow get them up.
You got the goblins and the
No,
ghouls.
Ask him again, though. Ask him
And
again.
spiders.
I don't want to.
Do it.
Do
Oh
it.
no,
Do it.
I forgot how it goes.
Oh, dear.
Just do it.
What happened?
Just like you used to gobble on these nuts.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Oh, yeah. This is why women don't listen to our podcast, including my wife, okay?
Speaking of the podcast,
Speaking of my wife.
should we move
she's here.
forward? Oh, should we move into ratings before we forget? Like an hour in.
Yeah, sure. How do you want to do ratings, guys? What is your pick?
Who goes first? You or do you want it to go clockwise or?
Let's start with the number one fan here, Eric Sanchez. Mi tocayo.
He's always just going to say 10 for his favorite
Is
films.
this truly a 10 or just...
All right, let's make it hard on a
Nostalgia
scale of 1 to
10.
307.
And each number is a dino nugget.
How many dino nuggets
Yeah.
can you eat?
You got it.
308 out of 307.
You can eat 308 dino nuggets?
Yeah.
He said that with confidence. So what would you rate this one?
No, definitely a 10 out of 10 for me.
Wow. There's not one thing you would change about the film. I was having this talk with somebody the other day, and they were saying that they really, really don't even like 9s on the board because they feel like 9s are already like hard to like surpass. But you would just
Solid 10 out of 10.
really.
Yeah. It's got like suspense, thriller, and then it also feels like an adventure film. And it's got like the right amount of sci-fi and the right amount of horror
I agree.
in there for me. And just also not just like story wise or content wise, but it's also like the filmmaking behind it, like how they managed to bring these
Sure.
monsters back to life.
Yeah, 93. I mean,
And it was fantastic. Yeah.
Do you
this was
feel
also
like
the year you were born, right?
No, I was born a year later, 94.
Right.
Do you feel like the other ones hold the same kind of like candle to it, or do you feel
No,
like
see, when we get to the sequels, then that's a little harsher, for sure. For example, The Lost World, it's still one of my top ones. Like,
I kind of think it's the best sequel. The best sequel of this.
It's definitely the best sequel of Jurassic Parks, and it still has like it's basically like, all right, this one was a huge hit. Now let's add more dinosaurs.
I was just telling
and
Sandra-
that's what it had going for it. But it has its moments. Like there's some moments where like it's okay,
it's questionable.
So that one,
I was just telling Sandra though that it was on cable the other day, and that if there were one actress I could work with, it'd be Julianne Moore. Mm-hmm. Like she's at the top of my list, and that was one of her first films.
Really?
It was
Really?
Lost World. She
Lost
plays
World.
the doctor.
yeah, the Malcolm's significant other.
Yeah, I think she's terrific, and I think she showed a ton of range of that film. And it's pretty good. And Vince Vaughn, not to mention,
Oh yeah, Vince Vaughn is
a ton of fun,
too.
and it was also one of his first films after Swingers.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Lost World.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
also
movie.
just enjoy the remnants. Like they're going through the shit basically that the first one kind of left behind. I really appreciated that, as opposed to building a whole new place and it just happens all over again.
Yeah, kind
Right.
of like the.
Kinda
No, this
like-
one,
like-
this is more like we're on the dinosaurs territory.
Yeah.
Which that's explained in the
I-
movie how
I dig
they
it.
had like a experimental like island that's just like next neighboring the Isla Nublar, right?
Yeah.
This one's called Isla Sonar or like I forgot Sorna, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, definitely on the sequels. Yeah, that's one I'll get a little harsher on those.
Yeah.
Like
The Lost World.
Also, I mean, when did Colin Trevorrow, right? Colin Trevorrow did the new sequels.
yeah, he made the I believe it was
the last three.
not the sequel, The Fallen Kingdom. Someone else did that one, but he was producing it regardless.
At least.
He directed the Jurassic World and Jurassic World. What was the last one?
Dominion?
Dominion.
Yeah.
I think
No, he produced that one.
he only
No,
produced
no,
it.
I think he directed it too.
No, I think he directed it too.
You also
good.
like these?
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
Are
I mean, they're fine.
Yeah.
I
there
enjoyed them
three?
because, like,
Or
regardless,
is it just
I'm
three
getting
now?
some.
Yeah.
Not a lot of movies do
But he didn't
dinosaur.
direct the last
Exactly.
Like, there's not a lot of dinosaur movies, like,
Dominion
which I'm
Prologue.
shocked.
What was it? I remember Jurassic World. Are
one.
you sure
Jurassic
there's
World,
three?
Dominion, and
He
then
did direct Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, that one is the only one.
What happens in Falling? Wait, what happens in Dominion?
That's when they have the dinosaur auction.
The auction with the rich
And
people.
they-
I thought that was in the second one. What happens in the
I don't
second
remember
one?
those that much.
What do you
That
mean
is
second?
the
That
second
is the
one.
second one.
So what happens in the third one?
That's
That one I
Dominion,
didn't
where
see.
You
No,
didn't see?
that's the dinosaur auction.
That's when
no?
they bring back the old cast.
Oh, that's
And,
right.
You're right.
The minor character in Jurassic Park where
The-
he meets
the Asian dude.
Dennis Dodson. He's the main villain in that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Oh, okay, then you're right. I did see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're back in the tower from the second one. They're back in the tower. This scene.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
back in
yeah,
the
yeah.
tower from the Lost World.
Wait. No, that can't be possible.
Yes.
That whole
a new
that whole
place.
thing that
you're right.
Dodson owns, that's his own thing in Europe.
I thought that was the rich house.
No.
So,
Yeah, all my wires get crossed with the sequels.
Yeah,
But
I just remember the dinosaur auction, and then I just had trouble placing the last one. But I remember it was really cool. Yeah.
See, they're not perfect, but like I still enjoy them for just the sake of being monster films, and like not a lot of films do dinosaur films for some reason.
that's true.
Exactly.
I feel like Jurassic Park only has like the rights to dinosaurs for some reason, but like
Yeah, I mean,
haven't seen
we talked
anyone-
about like the Disney dinosaur one, and then we
right, but like we haven't seen anything like
Littlefoot.
more serious. Like let's see, like
Night Before Time.
I don't know, like I think recently we got a dinosaur
It's
movie.
it's hard to compete, right? I mean,
Oh,
It's
bro.
really hard.
yeah. The Adam Driver one.
Adam Driver 165. That's
Oh,
what it's
that
called.
one was horrible.
Was it really?
47. Wasn't it?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
65.
65?
Yeah,
Oh,
65.
yeah, 65. No, the only one that still holds is Land of the Lost with that T-Rex.
well, I mean, what we're talking about, like, no,
So-
but
I loved it.
There was a weird sci-fi show that was like Dino World. Do you remember that? That it was
With the little
like-
baby?
No. You're thinking
That one
of
was creepy.
you're thinking of like the Zitcom, right? The puppet Dino one.
Oh, dinosaurs?
Yeah,
Dinosaurs.
That was a cool
Oh,
show.
I know
Man.
too, yeah,
I used to
yeah.
watch that as a kid.
But there's another one that was like it's a world. It's like think of like steampunk, but instead of us like using a weird energy source, we use dinos that like help power
it's hard
society.
it's hard to compare. I mean, it's hard to compete with Jurassic Park, period, right? As a
Exactly.
franchise,
Set
as a
the standard for
blockbuster.
sure.
Yeah, but
It's hard to
I'm really
compete,
looking
period.
forward to someone challenging that. Like I want
I
to see
agree.
someone.
I agree.
I just think that it falls in this very unique realm of creature feature where
Yeah.
kind of like with all monster films, the plot is that there is something out there that's dangerous, and the only ways the characters are going to be able to overcome it is that they understand it better. And I think what's interesting about this one is that you're placing the characters in a world where just everything is meant to be there except you. You know, you're the foreigner kind of there in this like dino land. Yeah. So all the challenges they face is the fact of them being kind of like almost like a foreign pathogen, right? Coming into this world. And I feel like there's films that do that. I've seen a lot of alien films do it, but I think it's really unique take.
Not to mention that, like, you know, Spielberg is very much a student of Hitchcock and Kubrick, and much like what he did in Jaws is something that Hitchcock became the master of, which is the fact that even for Jurassic Park, as grand as they seem, the dinosaurs have a total of 11 minutes of screen time on a 2-hour picture. 11 minutes of the movie is where the dinosaurs come out. That's it.
Well, I think that's perfect because you don't want to see too much of them.
That's what I mean. That's what makes it scary, right? Just like Jaws, just like a shark. Like you don't see it.
Iconic. Like you always remember the paddocking with the T-Rex.
Where I feel like if somebody were gonna challenge that sentiment, they wouldn't do it the same way. I mean, even the new ones, man. Like half of the movie contains the fucking dinosaurs doing something, chasing, eating, killing, whatever.
Even like the way that he builds tension and stuff that you've seen in earlier Spielberg works. But I mean, he really found a voice with like Jurassic Park, the electric fence scene. I think that's so well done.
Yeah.
Where you're seeing this juxtaposition of they're really hoping that she can hit the right buttons and get the power grid back on because that'll save them. Meanwhile, like completely unrelated, they're climbing the fence.
We were talking too about last the part where we did Jaws. You were mentioning how he has a great way of framing and depth.
Yeah,
and I see that in the electric fence stuff, especially when we first are introduced to the T-Rex. The use of scale is like the original King Kong. You know, like the depth of field and the illusion, right? The illusion of distance and depth. And I don't think any modern filmmaker knows how to do that as well as Spielberg.
Yeah, he just has these really wonderful ways of combining two different elements in one frame and having that same surprise. And like, I mean, I almost want to call it like a Spielberg effect because like when you watch any movie where there's a character being like, wait, what's that? And then just in the background is exactly what they're like anticipating. It's wonderful. The car scene, all those moments are just fantastic. But
and just to add to that, I think this is one of those things where I wouldn't say hit the peak, but I think following Indiana Jones, following other action films, I think this one perfected the action sequence after action sequence, and which
it doesn't feel stale. It doesn't feel
like
stale.
Transformers feels like some of them are just feelers, right? This one was perfect. Like the Jeep going down, there's a reason for that.
I agree.
Yes,
the intensity was just building up.
He builds waves.
The stakes are always high, but like almost more importantly, he's not using the same magic trick each scene.
It
keeps it fresh. You know, it keeps it.
It goes from a jump scare to to a little build up.
And you need those moments, and it's so hard because I feel like a lot of blockbuster films or a lot of like filmmakers now they think. Like no shame to him, but like with Michael Bay, I feel like let's keep throwing action at the screen to keep people's attention. And sure, it might keep your eyes there, but it also lowers the stakes of what's going on for the characters because if every moment's this high explosion, high action moment, you're not able to rest in these lulls where they have to overcome the next thing. Like, I mean, again, he just builds these waves where every time you find relief where you're like, finally, like we caught onto that branch, like, oh, now the car's falling. Okay, finally, we stopped ourselves from falling. Now the car's coming down again. Finally, we're out of it. Now there's dinosaurs. Like,
but dinosaur right behind me.
But again, it takes somebody who really understands what they're going to be giving to the audience, and in the editing room, how do we balance all that out? Because it's so easy for somebody to feel like, oh yeah, these moments are just going to keep happening one after the other. But if you can't create that visual and emotional lull for the audience, then every time it happens, it's gonna get stale. You're not gonna have the same kind of emotional impact. And I feel like Spielberg films, He just really
No, he
knows how to
learns
do
that.
yeah.
He knows exactly how to do that. We talked about we kind of been going chronologically, right? We went from Jaws to Indiana Jones to Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
And he builds on these lessons of like, hey,
Exactly.
I was greedy with that scare. I'm not going to use the same kind of scare on this one. I'm going to keep it fresh. I'm going to change it up. I think the emotional tonality of that doesn't really work, so I'm going to change it so that it fits here. Like, he
It's
knows.
been a very interesting, like, a tour month, I guess. Because, like, to explore, like, his growth as a filmmaker. I mean,
Yes.
I've always had trouble, like, defining the points of, like, what it is to be a Spielberg film. Because, again, we always say, like,
I liken Spielberg to Disney, man. At least like what Disney kind of films will make me feel in terms of just a nostalgic feeling almost, and these adventurous kind of things that I go through while watching a Spielberg film is kind of the same things I feel while watching most, at least my generation's Disney films, right?
Yeah.
Or just that kind of tonality. I liken not his storytelling to it, but I liken the emotional kind of journey that he takes you on, because I think that's kind of the best way to describe Spielberg is the emotional journey director.
Yeah.
He takes you through a pretty good, and I hate to use this word because it's part of why I don't like these films, an emotional roller coaster to an extent, right? Just as an entertainment vehicle. You're going through this roller coaster of a film, and I think that's one of the major reasons why cinema should exist.
Right now, we got to touch on the characters because I really want to talk on if there's any arcs.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
should we finish rating some?
Yeah,
Yeah. What? Me?
Europe.
I'm glad. That's actually an interesting bridge to me, dude. We talked about kind of a lot of the positives of this film, and it's something that I won't shy away from. Like, I was shitting on it while we were watching it, just like randomly, and then Sandra was like, "You really like this movie? What are you talking about? You love the ride? Like, when we go to Universal? Like, what do you mean?" And it's like, yeah, I do, because it's this sense of immersion and a feeling of, again, a roller coaster ride, right?
Right.
But it has no characters. This film has no characters. It doesn't have any characters.
So I wasn't the only one.
It's all plot. It's no characters in the slightest.
Yeah.
And there's no growth that any of these characters go through in any sense.
Except for the guy that owns the island.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson. He's used as a MacGuffin almost of a lesson. As a PSA, as a don't fuck with nature, don't play God, right?
Yeah, don't play God.
It's not, but it doesn't. Who cares? To an extent, like, and again, palette, like tonalities and sensibilities. Just for my sensibilities, because of that, I think one thing we haven't mentioned on the positive front is that the kind of the technical mastery of this film, for it to be a film made in '93, right? Spielberg took a leap, because originally he was going to try to make the dinosaurs with claymation, and he even shot a testing with Barbies and claymation of the kitchen scene.
I wouldn't doubt it. If it's Steven Spielberg, I would still check that.
He tried it out,
Yeah.
and didn't feel good. And then Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's production company or special effects company, were like, "Hey, we're working with some new tech. You might want to try it out for this. It's kind of perfect for this." And the special effects were cutting edge. So I think between Industrial Light and Magic and VFX, as new as they were, and animatronics, great.
Also, because it was a hybrid of everything, right?
It was a hybrid of two. So basically, when you're seeing full shots of the dinosaurs, VFX. When you're seeing close-up, smaller pieces of the dinosaurs' bodies, animatronics.
They never had a full T-Rex?
No.
Wow.
No,
so
they
just,
did.
just the mouth?
They did, but it
They
wasn't
built an giant animatronic T-Rex, and it moved and everything.
Yeah, but it was also very fucking finicky. They rarely used it because rain fucked it up.
Yeah.
It would rain and it would fuck up. Genuinely. So, like, to the point where, like, the crew would eat lunch and, like, it would start fucking moving out of nowhere and it would freak them out. Like, they couldn't properly use it for a ton of the
They
film.
didn't learn from Jaws,
Well, I mean, with Jaws, they had issues.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
So they
like,
didn't learn,
yeah. No.
Well, I mean, they built on the fact
but
that, but again, they knew, like, Spielberg knew when to use it and when to use VFX, right?
And he sure did.
So again, good on that front, and it revolutionized the game for VFX.
So keep that in mind.
I do keep it in mind, but it revolutionized the game in a way that I dislike where the game is right now. People misuse it. People think, great, cash grab. I know how to use that. Let's just use it again.
But don't count that into because we're talking about this one.
I have to
What do you mean?
because of the trajectory of cinema after this.
No,
film.
you gotta score it on itself.
On its merit alone, again, on its merit alone, again, great kind of technical mastery on a lot of fronts. You know what I've deduced just by watching the last 3 films that we reviewed on this podcast? Spielberg is like, he's a great magician because he's fooled us all. We know him as this grand director that tells great stories and adventure stories and knows how to utilize the grand cinematic story. But he's really using B-movie techniques. B-movies have no characters. They're all plot. They're mediocrely funny. Again, the jokes are cheesy, fucking family riddled kind of almost things. He's very cheeky in a lot of the movies he makes. All of that comes from B-movies. And he admitted to doing that in Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was a B-movie turned into an action feature. He was trying to make a B-movie.
You don't think Indiana had characters?
No, I do. I'm saying that
Because you just said it in general.
I'm saying that he's using B-movie techniques.
Yeah.
On a grander scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's using $100 million budgets to do a B-movie. That's the big difference, and only because he's a fan.
That's a big statement.
No, I mean, really review Spielberg's filmography. You'll come to find out that he almost trademarked him as his own. But again, great storytellers build on other storytellers.
Yeah.
That's just what he's doing, but giving it his own spin, right?
I can smell a 7.
All of that being said, I'm probably just shy. I'm probably at a 7. Let's call it a 7.
It's not, bro.
And I think I'm being generous. I'm
but
probably closer to a 6.9.
What?
There's no characters.
What do you mean there's no character? What about Alan Grant's character
What
arc?
about Alan Grant's character?
Dude, the whole, he was risking his life to save these kids, which at the beginning, he hated kids. He doesn't like kids.
Not what the movie's about.
No,
Not even
but
what his
but that's
character's
his
about.
character of development. At the end of the movie, when he's back in the helicopter, both kids are attached to him. They're hugging him, and he's opening to the. You see that he's opening up to the idea of kids.
That's not what
And-
the film's about.
Yeah, and it's not strong enough.
But it's still like a character arc. Don't tell
Very
me
weak
there's-
arc.
You're saying there's no
Why?
character.
Because he's a dick to the boy at the beginning of the film, and then all of a sudden he smiles because they're next to him on
no,
the
but he
helicopter.
can't constantly. Through the whole movie, he can't constantly bitched about the kids and everything.
yeah, no.
That's what I'm
There's something
saying.
wrong here, dude. I feel like you should get a ticket or something. Like
Me?
a 7?
Yeah, man. I mean, again, it's just my sensibilities, dude.
But what about- just for the fantasy alone. Dinosaurs.
I
This is
didn't.
the first time.
I didn't discount the fantasy. I didn't discount the adventurous factors of this film.
Just the characters.
I just don't think there's any. I think the story is a
onto it.
cautionary tale, which is a good cautionary tale. It's this allegory to warn humans, and not just on this, but Spielberg has used Jurassic Park as an example of not fucking with AI. You know?
Okay, so I think we were talking about it when we were watching the movie.
Yeah.
Don't you think if it had too much character, it would have gotten away from the dinosaurs? So I think it was a perfect blend of
What? But then what are you trying to do? I mean,
basically the dinosaurs were the stars, the characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
There's no reason to have these guys have a whole, he's married to this guy, whatever, their own stories.
I think Spielberg was well aware. And by the way, we haven't mentioned that Jurassic Park is based on a book. It's based on a novel.
By
And
Michael
Crichton. Michael
I
Crichton.
actually have the book.
Do you have the book?
Yeah. It's really good.
Well, the film used 20% of the book.
Yeah.
It tossed the book. It didn't use most of the book. And in all defense to both of these parties, Michael Crichton was trying to be darker with it. He was trying to be a little more in depth of the humanistic kind of challenge of doing this and why it matters and why
in the 90s, they wouldn't have been ready for that.
No. Also, when Michael Crichton only wanted Spielberg to make this movie,
Right.
he sold the rights, I think, and I think it was understanding the book is a straight up horror.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying to be darker with it. He's trying to be.
It's not trying. He made it darker in the book, but with Steven Spielberg, he adapted it for the general audience.
That's my point.
Which
You're going to be making a surface level film. You're
Which
trying
is-
to appeal to the audience, the
Which
greater
it's
audience.
fine. I understand why. This is the '90s, and
What does that mean?
And then this is also dinosaurs. You're gonna appeal. I mean, how do I explain it?
Dude, this is how I know. And there's a difference. There's a good path of this and there's a bad path of this. I'm not saying Jurassic Park was a bad path, but the film was greenlit and in pre-production before there was even a script. And if you're not going to base the movie on the book, because you're really not, you're using 20% of the book. In fact, the writer, Michael Crichton, said there was 11% of the book in this film. The book was tossed. There was no screenplay when they started pre-production. This was a full-on popcorn flick for the mass audience. It was not meant to be anything else.
Which is great.
But there's no characters. The point is there's no fucking characters.
what?
It's
You
all
get
plot. It's a popcorn flick.
So what? You get fucking dinosaurs and it looks great and it's a great fucking movie.
My 7 is warranted. Okay, that's my point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Low.
I really like.
I have one more kind of thought, but I could save it for the end.
I really like Eric's comment of "fuck you, dinosaurs."
Yeah, like what'd you expect? Casablanca out of dinosaurs?
I'm not expecting anything. I'm telling you. No,
What do you expect?
Castro is asking me why my rating is a 7 and why that they should be fucking.
Give me one Scorsese film with dinosaurs. Boom.
There we go.
0.1 for Jurassic Park.
There you go.
That's true.
Scorsese
Point
could've
one
done
for
this.
Scorsese, I think.
No.
Nah, they need more dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, Goodfellas with dinosaurs. Come on, it just makes it even better.
Hey.
Imagine in silence you just see a dinosaur.
See a fucking.
Oh man, he would get so many points.
Fun fact though, in the background of Jurassic Park, in the kind of control room, you do see Jaws playing in the background.
Really?
One of the screens.
Dang, that cheeky
Wait,
man.
in what scene?
Where the control room. Wow. I told you guys, I can just get on my fucking nerves.
Let's talk a little bit about Oppenheimer.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, just
I
I
mean,
mean, I think
again,
a lot of people didn't catch that.
Commentary,
Now that-
right? We just caught that there's a picture of the actual Robert J. Oppenheimer on the screen of the guy who fucks everything up.
Yeah, the
this film,
security
essentially.
protocol guy.
Destroyer of
The
worlds.
destroyer of worlds, right?
So that's pretty interesting. That's,
yeah, that was
that's
cool.
a little.
I now
Premonition.
have a theory that like that's Nolan's whole take, right? Is like, oh, destroy your world. You know,
See?
he was watching Jurassic Park one day. It was like,
Jurassic Park
Maybe that's why.
inspired fucking Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Boom.
But,
Oscar-winning movie.
Dinosaurs
this was
won.
an Oscar-winning movie
Hell yeah.
for nothing other than special effects and
Damn
sound.
right.
That's all I
One
need.
It
Three
won,
Oscars.
yeah, for special effects,
And
sound.
it looks better than
Best
Transformers.
screenplay.
No, it
Best
did not
actor.
win for best screenplay or actor.
Best
I highly doubt
actress.
that. Best sound, best effects, and best visual effects.
Damn right. I want to.
Come on, bro.
That's all I want for you. You're right.
What do you mean? What are you saying? That's all, dude. That's 3. That's pretty good.
How
Right,
many-
because you watch the Oscars for these categories.
Damn
How
right.
many special effects? Hey, how many special effects categories has Scorsese won?
One.
Dude, look
Boom.
at
It's just like this year. Didn't Godzilla versus?
Yeah.
Minus one.
Minus one.
Minus one.
Yeah.
Godzilla
didn't also
versus
win.
Chop Chop.
Yeah.
I'm saying these are the ones that are kind of pushing the.
Oh, you're right. They're
technology
pushing the medium forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're
you-
pushing the technical medium forward.
And every movie needs it. Even your Scorsese movies need it.
Listen, I'm going to read something.
How
okay?
many bulls
Really
are a
quick.
raging bull?
Yeah, man. Irish men.
I rest
needed
my
it.
case.
should have been Raging Raptor.
3.
I'm going to read something
I got it.
that made me feel like I'm not alone.
Wait, are you gonna read at the end?
No, I'll read it now.
Don't make me a Reddit post or anything.
No, this is you'll see. The groundbreaking effects were the highest point of praise from critics. Stanley Kaufman, go Google Stanley Kaufman if you know who he is. It made King Kong, 1933's King Kong, look like something from a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. However,
That's
the
really good.
human characters did receive flack from critics, even from those who gave the film a positive review.
There's a
This
reason.
film received positive review from critics. Peter Travers, Roger Ebert, Kenneth Turner, and all these great film critics. Peter Travers, if you don't know Peter Travers did like the 1,000 films you should see before you die. He's a very celebrated film critic. Roger Ebert, you guys know Roger Ebert is my favorite film critic. Peter Travers felt the characters were forgettable, describing them as dry bones or nonentities. With Roger Ebert likewise saying the movie is lacking other qualities that it needs even more, such as a sense of awe and wonderment and strong human story values. Kenneth Turner wrote that the
What do they
effects left.
Yeah.
This is my favorite comment. The effects left no time to make the people similarly believable or involving. Variety noted that despite the one-dimensional characters and clunky story, it delivered, and it is now considered a Hollywood blockbuster. That's why
Everybody-
we're talking about it.
Since
What do you mean
1990
forgettable?
Yeah,
I always
They're
remember.
forgettable characters, dude.
How?
Who
I
gives a
always
shit?
remember Alan Grant.
the kid,
They look
What kid?
iconic.
the one with the water.
You remember the water. You don't remember the kid.
I remember
No,
the kid.
no. But like, come on. You're telling me you're gonna forget Nedry. The look, it's Dotson here. Nobody cares, dude. I I always remember everyone that I've seen. Oh yeah,
I remember
You remember it because it was a meme.
No,
Yes.
no.
I also remember them the way I remember him. I remember him the way I remember the Toxic Avenger. It's fun, cool.
Wow.
Who gives a shit? Like even he said, "Who gives a shit?" in the film. But yeah, just for me, it's again, it's warranting this blockbuster popcorn flick of a theme because that's all it's trying to be. Spielberg hasn't defended it that he wanted it to be anything else, other than like this cautionary tale to not play God. But I think Spielberg is smart enough to know, hey, number one, by the way, this was Spielberg's most successful film money-wise. Spielberg alone, because of back end, made $250 million on this fucking film alone. It's been his most successful film money-wise to date. Okay, Spielberg knows how to take this in-depth topic and make it palatable for the masses.
So
He's the best at that.
250 million in the back end, and you're giving it a 7.
Money and merit are not fucking mutually exclusive, dude.
I'm just saying there's a reason why it made so much money.
Because it's
And not-
palatable
and
for the
not-
mass
and not-
audience.
exactly, not because of a 7.
It's palatable for the mass audience.
There was a year that they were going to add most popular film to the Oscars, and people boycotted it because they were like, "That's a bad."
Yeah.
Like, why are we going to just make the Oscars a popularity contest? It was never that. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
about
same year
merit.
that Black Panther got nominated. For fucking what?
That's true.
Yeah, I think we could all agree with that.
Delal, your rating. I rest my case.
Dude, the case is still pending, bro.
What's your case?
It's the case.
All
that
plot,
they
no
gave me.
characters. You guys gonna keep doing this? You guys really gonna keep doing this?
7.5.
Bro, look what you did.
He
I had to
had
correct
his
my
mind
hair.
made up way before I said anything.
No, why so
He's a big boy.
Well, Carlos told me that. No,
Carlos told me we wouldn't review another Wes Anderson film in this podcast.
Yeah.
I said it would.
He's turning around from you.
to get shy.
A 7.5.
Your glasses are so foggy, man. I feel bad for you. What's going on?
You know what? Meg says the same thing.
I think it's just the way you see it because it
Austin,
looks normal.
could you do me a big favor? Can you pass me one of the like cleaning sheets things, please?
Go on, rating.
I just feel that, again, with blockbusters, they have this spectacle and they're able to take you somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it falls into this weird category of film that I'd rather be the characters than I care about the characters. Like, did that make sense?
Sure.
Where like when we see Dr. Alan Grant and like the kids and all that, I just remember.
You told me to get you one.
Yeah, I also didn't say chuck it at the blind boy.
Before you get into that point, just to
Cleaning my
piggyback.
glasses?
No, the Alan Grant
So I
character.
can clean them.
Yes, go ahead. I want to piggyback off a principle you just talked about. I don't think this is a bad thing for cinema. I think cinema needs it to survive to an extent. It's
Yeah.
kind of what keeps the theaters open. But, and it's this place to just go and in a good way turn off your brain and just enjoy something on the screen, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you need much thought to think about Jurassic Park. I think you could just watch it and enjoy it. I don't think you need to think about
I
Dick.
think it really did take you somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy shit, who's that?
Who's that, man?
You know, I'm thinking of LASIK. But
The other day, yeah, like 2 days ago, literally, like 2 days ago, I was like down in the dumps, rough day at work, fucking like just like tired of the world, and all of a sudden, Men in Black was on, and I left it on, and I watched it from beginning to end. And usually, I try to like pin my time and like, yeah, I'm gonna watch something off my bucket list. I'm gonna go in the theater. And I watched it, and it comforted me. I think
fun.
films like Jurassic Park can
Comfort
do
food.
that. It's like comfort food. Is it healthy? Is it, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Is it?
Yeah.
It's junk food, bro. It's comfort food, and I think that's just as equally important.
Do you agree? Let's finish with the 7.5.
I just think that it does something really unique that it's able to bring you into a world, and that's something that I think a lot of filmmakers struggle with. Like
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
see a film that's bad, part of you like one doesn't care about the world, and two you don't believe it. You don't believe
Yeah.
the actors, you don't believe the situation and all that kind of stuff. And in this one, I mean, again, when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy, they're trying to set a foundation to help your brain like get ready for what it's about to see, right? Like it tries to give you just enough of a very like murky sauce that will be the foundation, so that way you believe what's going on.
Oh, for instance, the DNA cartoon shit thing. What is it called?
It's just DNA.
yeah, named DNA.
I think it's like Mr. DNA or something like that, no?
I forgot.
The
to be honest.
DNA character, right? Steven Spielberg solely created that character to get rid of all the exposition in the film, to cover as much exposition that the book covers,
Yeah, because the
and
book
compact it into this little package so that people can consume it easily.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it.
because the book gets
It is
really
smart, but
into the
it's that's my
science
point.
thing.
It's just
Well,
here,
come on. Do you really
eat
want?
this.
Do you want like
What's
a? Do you want a 30-minute explanation how science and the DNA encoding
No, but the
works?
problem is that I feel like a lot of films,
Yeah.
they need that. Again, they need a foundation just so
Yeah.
you can get your foot in the door. And then once your foot's there, then you can enjoy the rest of it. So,
So we need to walk you through it.
No, my favorite
Oh my
Spielberg
God,
film
there's-
does that too. Ready Player One does that. I think Ready Player One does it more effectively. Doesn't use a DNA cartoon bullshit thing.
Yeah, but-
it immerses you in the world and
I
says,
bet you-
"This
Have
is
you
the
ever-
oasis. We go here, we go there, we do that, we do it in
but
2
they did
minutes."
at the very beginning.
yeah, in 2 minutes,
Yeah.
more effectively.
But
Well, he just got better as he did movies.
nah, like I just think I can appreciate the merit in the filmmaking, and that's why it
Absolutely.
gets that's why it gets an automatic like 7, because the merit
Yeah.
in like having to create it, the compositions,
Automatic pass,
yeah.
right? It's
yeah,
it's
you
Spielberg.
get
He's
there.
good at what he does. You can't give, other than the BFG and maybe Bridge of Spies, you can't give Spielberg a bad score.
Yeah.
Barring those two films, you
Yeah.
can't really give him lower than a 7 on any fucking movie he's ever really done.
I like the BFG. It's kind of funny.
They fart for 30 minutes of the fucking film.
Yeah,
dude.
some
I'm
of the
good.
dogs they like spin
I know.
around.
Why? No.
Stupid
He's an
dog.
Academy Award winner, man.
I know, dude. I was like, what?
Can't do
That
it.
was the last film I watched at the Dollar Movies.
You
like
see?
on,
You see
Is
what
that there
happens?
anyone?
No, on Monwood.
Oh, they're still there.
They're still
So
there?
they're in AMC now officially.
Yeah. The
But
last
no,
time I went to
Mongol
Mon-
one sold.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
we're talking to AMC on the Gateway.
Yeah, yeah.
So why -3?
Why negative
Where's the
2.5?
Oh yeah, the -2.5. My bad.
I feel like more could have been expanded upon, like the characters. Like I
They don't
think
expand the characters in the sequels.
no.
No.
In fact, they
I don't remember the
get
sequels.
Malcolm for
The
like
only
the
one
next
that does
one.
is the doctor.
Well,
what's his name?
technically, okay, it's weird. So
Yeah, I forgot.
Lost World, we don't follow Alan Grant. Now we follow
Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
And then in the third film, Alan Grant comes back to help this couple look for their kid because apparently they think he's like this expert, but he told them, "I was just in the island once," and then I was
Yeah.
like, "So yeah."
So that should help. I mean, they couldn't
I
fit it
think-
all in. They kind of just spread it
We're
out.
not rating
Here's-
the other films. We're rating.
Yeah.
But,
Here's what I'll say.
Because they had a plan to
Here's what I'll
expand.
say. If you look at like the newer Jurassic Parks as blockbusters alone, I think they have a weird kind of like flip in the score. They do a lot more to develop their characters. So
The
every
Bryce Dallas
moment,
Howard's character, she hates kids. She doesn't want to take care of the nephews, and then she ends up fucking caring for nothing but them because they're lost in this world and shit, right?
no,
Nah.
but like there's all
Same
these
thing.
there's
Flip.
all these little moments to help develop her character,
Yeah.
and there's all these little dialogue pieces to help develop like the characters, who they are, the romances, everything.
For instance, like again, where the romance guy's gonna go towards the romance. I had no idea, dude, that the fucking Laura Dern and Alan, like, that they're married, Brienne, or that they're a couple, or that they're
Even
together.
when I was a kid, I knew that.
Yeah,
no,
I
but
knew
like
that
it's
too.
just
Why?
kinda-
Because they're standing next to each other for
No,
a portion of the film.
Plus, he says to Malcolm, like, "Are you
Oh.
guys together?" Yeah. Like,
Oh,
that's it.
Oh,
That's
great!
not-
What do you
but-
need,
Fuck
bro?
you.
Do you
But
want
no,
romance?
You need a close-up shot of the ring, and then
Yeah, you need them
no,
to you
no.
need them to kiss at some point.
No, but-
I
but
need
if
them
you
to
look
be
at the-
some relationship dynamic in
No,
it to make
they're,
it
they're being
believable.
the newest
professionals. They're there
one.
professionally.
No, the newest one, they had
That
so
makes
many
more-
little beats and moments
Yes.
that bump into each
Oh,
other.
like, oh, we used to date.
Or
There's
they'd
a
be,
thing.
they'd be separated.
Yeah.
it's a dinosaur movie.
well, technically, they
What the hell we were?
they kind of explored that in the third one already. So
It's,
we
but
go.
I'm saying, like,
In this
But
one,
obviously they had a plan that it was going to be
But
broken up
what's
to 3
the
parts.
runtime? What's the runtime of this
2 hours
film?
and
2 hours.
7 minutes.
I feel like you could have added.
No. That's easy
it's
for you
not
to say.
needed.
You could have
It's
added.
for you
No,
to say.
You
Carlos,
asked why he deducts his 2.5. This is why.
Carlos, don't you agree that if they had added in, like, made it like a soft 220, that
I was
they
going to say
probably
215.
yeah. that they could have probably added in like a few more character moments, and then it would have felt like really stable for
Absolutely.
them. Yeah,
Absolutely.
a few more moments of dialogue, a few more moments of like interaction.
I think you
we
guys are
talked
missing
about-
the point. I think the whole thing is there's this family coming into this park that's an experiment, and they
But they're
gotta-
not a family.
Well, you know what
And
I
you
mean.
know what?
You know what I mean.
Why?
The
Because they become a
complexity.
family on the helicopter?
Yeah,
Go
the
fuck
complex-
yourself. Look,
No, they don't. But
Shared trauma.
no, you said they did. He's convinced. He likes
No.
these kids now.
No,
he wants to.
no, but I'm
no,
saying
what
there
I'm
are-
saying is that he's ready for kids. Like,
Exactly,
all
he
right.
changes.
No, but like that's why I'm saying just adding in a few minutes. You could have had a shot where like,
yeah.
and they did a little bit of it, but they could have done it a little better. The shot when the I want to say Brontosaurus, the long necks, where they're eating off the branch and
Okay.
all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. There could have been a little bit more where seeing him with the kids asleep. They could have let that moment breathe just
You're
a little
missing
bit.
the
No,
What?
but
It-
Okay, wait.
But you
We're
get what I'm
missing.
saying, right?
We're missing the point. What's the point?
the visual aspect of it.
So that's all
we
this film's
already,
got going
we
for
already
it.
got the base
7.5.
of these two kids.
I gave it the 7.5 because it did that so
That's
well.
being generous.
No, I thought it was this pretty sweet moment. It was just like, yeah, I'll stay up all night to just watch you guys. To watch you guys.
No,
Like,
he
it's-
woke up because the dinosaur was eating the
Well,
leaves.
he ended up falling asleep regardless.
And then
but
he
like,
kind of didn't like you can always see in his character he's really more interested in the dinosaurs than he is the kids. He's
Well,
never
so was Laura Dern.
he's never looking at
so
the
they're
kids.
paleontologists. What the fuck are you
Yeah,
talking about?
exactly. But that's the thing. He's never like looking at the kids. He's just around
hate,
the kids
we
all the
hate
time.
the lawyer character,
then-
and we're so happy that he gets eaten because he fucking runs and
Whoa,
abandons
dude,
those
that
kids.
was- yeah.
Like we hate that character, and then we applaud when they do it because they're paleontologists. No, fuck you. No, they're
They never leave the kids.
No,
just
they
leave-
don't.
No,
but they
but
care
like-
about something else more than
Yeah.
they care about these kids.
Okay, what are you gonna do when you haven't seen a prehistoric animal? Of
No,
course, you're like,
exactly.
oh, Jesus
Exactly.
Christ!
No characters,
You're gonna
all
panic
plot. That's the
immediately.
point here. That's the argument here.
Fuck
No
like
characters,
you-
all
you're
plot.
reaching,
Carlos,
dude.
Carlos, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Like the fact that like every time
It
he's
could
like,
have been fixed with 7 more minutes in this film.
yeah.
Few
Like, what
moments
el-
that humanizes these characters.
Yeah.
They are human.
No. Like,
Why are they
moments-
human? Because they run from monsters?
No.
That's what makes them human?
No.
Fuck you, no. There's no humanity in these characters.
Oh,
the
crazy.
only humanity is the owner. I done fucked
fuck, they
up,
just
man.
run
I
from
shouldn't have
monsters?
built
I
this
mean,
shit.
fucked up 81.
Yeah. I think that's the only humanity we see is like him at the end being like, I don't endorse my park either. Fuck this shit.
Like,
you know, like
you know what? That moment at the end when he's in the helicopter and the kids are leaning on him, he could have just been like, "Hey, look, I have kids. You and me now, like we're cool." Like, I mean, it just
it would have been cheeky, but I would have taken it. I agree.
You don't like the subtlety of them, like
It was-
Head nod would have been fine.
It's not subtlety. It's
He
just not
smiled at
non-existent.
her.
what do you
yeah,
mean
but that's
non-existent?
it. Like, it's kind of like
What
oh,
else do you need? Like
You
for her,
wanna-
him to hold her hand?
No,
and
no,
kiss
you
her?
could
No,
have held on the shot.
You know
No,
what?
that's the
You know
beauty
what?
of it.
shit.
That's the beauty of it.
It was simple.
You know
it
what?
Was there.
There's
Half
a,
it-
I know a moment that they could have expanded on, and it would have been really good. But again, they just wanted to. They were riding the wave and ready to go into the next action beat. The car falls, hits a tree. He goes down to rescue the kid, right? And then he's in there. The
You
kid
just
says,
said it, but okay.
No.
Let's skip through that then.
No. He goes to get the kid, and then the kid's like, "Oh, I just threw up," and he's like, "Oh, that's fine." And then, like, before we can have a moment where maybe he's talking to him, and the kids are having this vulnerable moment where they just need like a father figure,
Dude,
and he comes in.
even in the Temple
it's
of
just
Dune.
like, "Oh, it's falling. Get over here. We gotta go."
Even in
you
the
know?
Temple of Dune.
Because it's tough love.
Even in the
It's not
Temple of
skid,
Doom,
really.
It's
like
like
love.
Indiana Jones, being the toughest love motherfucker there is, will sit with Short Round and be like, "Hey kid, don't worry about it." Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Boom. Takes 10 seconds, and then you humanize Indy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There could have been moments like that.
But
Yeah,
you don't
like,
have to
I just feel
humanize
like
Indy, bro.
The only
He's a
justification I think
fantasy.
you guys have, to your point, is that the stars of the film are the dinosaurs. Period. Which means there's no characters.
The dinosaurs are.
Oh yeah, they have arcs.
Yeah.
What?
They were
The
chilling,
T-Rex, he was
they
a
were
villain,
chilling,
and then he
it's like,
saves them.
Who the fuck are these
fuck?
guys?
You know what? The fucking T-Rex has a bigger arc in the new films when he saves the fucking from
the new
the
films
big
suck,
motherfucking dinosaur, the technosaurs or whatever the big one is. What was the big one? The bigger one.
Fucking,
What is it called?
That's a transformer.
It's the
I'm not that far
Technosaurus.
off in the name. What the fuck is it
no,
called?
it's not the Technosaurus.
What is
Okay,
it?
so
What is it called? What's it called?
Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex.
But there's another word that I think it was the
Oh shit, guys! Oh, instead of the vibrations, it's dubstep. What's going on?
So now you gotta do the little hands.
Yeah, with the little
The
lightsabers.
T-Rex beating the Indominus Rex, that's a bigger arc.
Yeah, but at this point, we're
Beatboxing.
4 films in already.
Wow, it doesn't matter. There's a bigger arc there. If you want to talk about the arc of the dinosaurs, no
my
characters,
God.
no
You just-
humanity, none.
You know, like, that's what I'm saying. And again, if you want to say that that doesn't matter, then why is it something that they definitely added into the other films? Like, why is it that we started
Because
getting
sequels
characters?
have to sequel. You know, you have to add a little more to it.
but like, that's also
That's kinda
room
true.
to grow. No, there's room to grow. So like afterwards, they started adding in more of these character arc moments. Like we established the world of the dinosaurs. We were able to get past like
Exactly.
the attraction. How are you going to keep people's energy? Doing the exact same thing? No. Then you need to like focus on the human element. You know?
There's
That's-
enough to say about humanity in these moments. Like if you guys are dropped into the situation, right, and you're dropped with, for instance, your significant other,
Yeah.
or you're dropped with a someone a peer in your field that you respect, you're gonna have different conversations. You're gonna be scared shitless. You're gonna be like, "Fuck, what are we doing? What's going on? Like, the fuck are we gonna die for this shit? Are we willing to die for the thing we love?" And Laura Dern's character kind of comes in towards the end when she's having the conversation with in the table in the long ass table.
I love that.
with ice cream.
And what is she saying? Like, hey, no, like none of this shit matters now, right? Like, we gotta find the ones we love or whatever, right? That's it. That's it. She doesn't have a change of heart. There is no change of heart.
But it's a little bit of an art.
What do you mean?
There is no change of heart.
What change of heart were you looking for?
There is no change of heart. It's not about what I was looking for. She was there to see this amazing scientific development, right? And then she just wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Well, no shit.
That's the change of heart you care for?
Well, no shit. When shit hits the fan, I'm out of here. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. She's a paleontologist. She wants to go see this new thing.
At
She's
first
like,
they're
"Holy
in
shit."
awe.
And that meant something to you in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
As a
if
paleontologist-
there- if there is-
No,
if there ever is
because
an
look,
island
as a
called-
paleontologist, you see these creatures like you've
Yeah.
been studying and wishing that you could have seen them. They come to life, but then like,
So
okay,
why aren't we focusing on the arc?
Wait,
why
wait.
aren't we focusing on the arc of
Because
her being
man,
scared?
at the end of the day, it's a fucking dinosaur movie. What else do
Presto
you want?
manifesto. That's all
We're
we
not
care
gonna give
about.
it the Casablanca treatment.
But you know what? I really like the moment, and please give me your take. Like if you enjoyed it or you felt like, okay, we just need to get past this scene. I really like the moment, and I don't remember seeing it that much or thinking about it that much growing up. But when what's the main guy, the old white man?
Hammond?
Hammond? John Hammond.
Yeah, John Hammond. When
Played by Richard Attenborough, by the way, who in his own right is a director. He directed Chaplin.
Oh, whoa, that guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Richard Attenborough hadn't acted in a film in over 14 years. But when he read the script, he knew Spielberg was directing. He was like, shit, if Spielberg's directing, I'll do it for him. But he had just come off finishing Chaplin. Directing. Like, Spielberg waited for him.
When did Chaplin come out? That wasn't
94.
94, right?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the moment when
Hammond.
he's talking to her and he just,
Or maybe it was Gandhi. Sorry.
he's just in this like disbelief, and he's like, "Did you know that like
what's happening?
the first he says like the first like what is it called attraction I made was a flea circus," and he says, and there were these
Oh,
like
I
little
don't-
things and
Yeah.
motors that would make it move and all that kind of stuff. And that moment, he also expresses how what he really just wanted was for people to not only be amazed at like this attraction, but also to give him credit for making it, because he says before I made illusions.
I've
and-
said in my argument that the only one who has humanity in this film is Hammond.
Yeah, I said
That's
it
it.
yeah,
Funny enough, in the book, he's actually the asshole.
Is he?
Is the villain? Well,
that's how it is.
I mean,
in
he's the
rest
villain
of
in
the
this
film.
one too, to an extent. But
So you want all of them to have an arc?
Yeah, why are there people there and they're talking if they're not going to do anything? They should just be extras.
Well, he was talking about it. Just Steven Spielberg. It's just to give out a badass line.
not my kind of film, buddy. That's just it for me. That's what I'm saying. Sensibilities, right? For me, I think these films are necessary. I think they're comfort food. Am I getting any cinematic nutrition out of them? No, I'm not.
Did you feel any care? And I mean, not in a
What?
bad way. Did you get any, like, did you feel anything when, like...
Dude, I felt really bad when that was on the ground, and you could tell, like, all right, you know, the island's not for them, you know.
I too, when I see a dog hit on the side of the road, feel really bad.
I was able to get lost. I'm like, I feel for this animal.
Well, no, but I was going to say, like, when Samuel Jackson's character, like, dies... Other than just like, oh no, now she's alone. Like, you didn't really
Let's talk
care.
about that fool. Why did he get casted for this?
Because he was in everything in the 90s.
yeah, but this one was like he was too big for this type of role.
not yet.
Nah, not yet. This
Goodfellas was
95?
this was right before Goodfellas, and Goodfellas was like the biggest. Kind of,
no. Goodfellas was before Jurassic Park.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
But he was
and
known.
then Pulp Fiction is what really got
yeah.
him there.
It
But
kind
Pulp
of
Fiction was
catapulted him.
94.
Which this was a year
was 93.
before.
Oh shit.
And then
I don't
Goodfellas
know, I
was
just-
91, 90.
Was it?
To touch on that, like they don't even say anything. She just says, "Oh, something doesn't feel right,"
Yeah.
and then they send her off to go.
Rating.
Oh, because the guy hasn't come back, and then wow, like what the fuck? So
He
they
said he
go.
could do in
Dude,
5
there's
minutes.
more.
Wait,
There's
wait.
more worry in somebody's face on like Alien, or like the thing. Like, yo, they haven't come back for a while. What the fuck is going on? Something's off here.
Yeah, because those are like
Austin.
straight up horror. Like,
What about Steve?
oh well, fun.
Gary.
Gary.
Fun fact: they
You made him
filmed
shy.
the death scene of Samuel Jackson's character Arnold, but there was a bad storm and destroyed the whole set.
It was a tsunami, actually.
It was something like yeah.
It was an actual tsunami, and,
Costa
and
Rica?
yeah, no,
in
no, this
Hawaii.
was shot in Hawaii. The film was shot in Hawaii.
Oh, it's based on.
It's based in, yeah. But so they had to, the entire crew had to go to the basement of the resort they were staying in.
Oh, wow.
Which is the ballroom. And they like filled their bathtubs with water. There's gonna be shortage of everything, food, water, and shit. They were all scared. And Kathleen Kennedy, who now runs Spielberg's company as well as Lucasfilms.
Wait, like an actual Kennedy?
No, I don't think so. But she's super famous, man. Like she was running Universal at one point. She's like
Isn't she
she's
the
the
one-
producer of producers, man. She's big.
Feel free to cut this out. Is she the one ruining Star Wars right now?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Essentially. But she also was like the one responsible almost for it being given into the hands of Jon Favreau. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Anyways, Kathleen Kennedy was like boots on the ground producer at the time, and she was the one like making sure that all the cast and crew had generators, had shit to like, you know, if the lights went out, if this or that. She
How
was
long
like,
did that last?
I think it lasted like a week. And then Richard Attenborough didn't leave his room. He was like, fuck you guys. Like, no, like, I'm just gonna stay here. And they asked him why. And he was like, dude, I lived through a lot of shit in my life. And he's like, I slept through the storms mostly. Like, I'm just gonna stick around here. Nothing happened to any of the crew or anything like that. But it did destroy sets.
And destroyed the set.
Spielberg still came in 12 days ahead of schedule and on budget, despite a fucking tsunami.
That's why they love them.
So,
The execs.
yeah. Anyways, rating.
Dude, it can't be lower than an 8. You're gonna jump in that bandwagon?
It's not a bad wagon. I had that. I had my rating picked way earlier.
He's gonna go for like a 4 or some shit.
7.3.
Dude, right in the middle? Why? Well, what do you think it lacked?
Pretty much the same thing.
For real?
It's all plot.
Which is fine. But why would we be expected to give a higher rating to something that's just plot? And again, movies like this are necessary. They exist. They need to exist.
they heal cinema. They're the scab
So at least
of
okay,
the wound.
okay, so at least kind of
They're
like
picking at the scab.
correct me in the whole thing of it would take away from the dinosaurs.
Huh?
At least correct me on the whole thing that like we don't really need the whole story of all these guys or you know a little bit more.
I think from the get-go, the fact that they have moments like the Triceratops moment, they have that initial introduction to Jurassic Park, which is a great shot, great scene.
Yeah.
And those moments, from then on, you always care about the fact that there's dinosaurs. And
Yeah.
like you were mentioning at the beginning, the fact that they only have 11 minutes of screen time shows how important those moments were, because then later on when you don't see dinosaurs, you're constantly aware
Thinking about the
of
dinosaurs.
them being out there. And it's almost like the Jaws effect. You don't
Yeah.
need to see the monster all the time because now you're convinced it could be anywhere.
And not
It's-
just
you know,
not just that, but Spielberg and John Williams are a match made in heaven, man. Like these guys will make. Fuck, I don't want to say this. This is gonna sound really negative, but these guys will make paint drying grander than it is because they know how to do it. No, that's a virtue, dude. That's fucking hard.
Okay.
It's fucking hard to do that, but Spielberg will know how to shoot the grand, you know, opening of the Jurassic Park, and we're gonna shoot from a low angle. We're gonna make it seem bigger than it is, and John Williams, the score is gonna swell in these key moments. I mean, these guys wrote the book on it. That's everybody's copied John Williams and Steven Spielberg since John Williams and Steven Spielberg have existed. They're great attributes. the thing is, these guys know how to use them properly. People are just ripping them off in way fucking other directions. These guys know how to do it. So they're going to make you think that something is grander. What's the grandest thing about this film? The dinosaurs. Those are the shots that are going to impress and make you feel like, holy fucking shit, what did I just watch? And make you forget about the fact that there's no characters.
I don't know. I guess I always come back to like the whole when Goldblum is in the back of the Jeep and he's like, go, 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 and the T-Rex is following him. If you would have the kids and they would be like, hey, kids, stay down or whatever.
Yeah.
I honestly think it would just take away from me losing myself and like, okay, now I'm Goldblum. This dinosaur is chasing me. That's all I'm caring about in that moment. I'm not caring about...
No. Again, it's
kids.
situational. It's
Just like they
situational.
were.
It's what you guys said. Your argument for why this film is good is because it got a bunch of people, it threw them in a situation that they wouldn't otherwise be in, and I'm going to follow them through this kind of whole journey, right?
And that's why I was saying earlier, I wouldn't want to take away any of those moments because of how good they are.
No, not in the
I
slightest.
just wanted to add moments that, like, when they're walking.
Humanizes
Think
them.
about this. They are walking back from the
did
middle.
enough.
No,
Okay,
but they're walking on this big trail back over to what they're hoping is safety, and safety is already kind of fucking up. And in the area where there's safety, where they're having their meal and they're talking, those areas have the potential to grow and have these really human moments. But in that walking part, the transition that's actually happening in the film of these characters trying to trek back, there's moments where they obviously don't see dinosaurs and they obviously don't see anything, and they're just they're having a human moment, and we don't see those because they're like, let's just kind of lull over
move
it.
the story along.
Like they're walking on a hill and then they see the I forgot what they're called, but the pack of dinosaurs running towards them.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're all dodging them. Yeah. And
By the way, Spielberg, one of the trademarks of Spielberg just didn't appear in this film, which really disappointed me because
The parents?
the parents. The fact that in almost all Spielberg films, a main character comes from a broken family. And again, I directly relate to that, right? So naturally, I want to see that. You see that in Close Encounters. You see that in E.T. You see that in Ready Player One. You see that everywhere. And in this film, it doesn't exist. That's a very human moment that could be explored, right? In the sequel, the first one, the first Jurassic World, the two brothers, right? They come from a family that's broken. The mom's going through some shit. The parents are going through some shit. They're dumped off with the aunt. That Spielberg element is there, and he didn't even direct the fucking picture.
That was not my favorite part of that movie.
Again, if these moments in these pockets that were already created for these moments.
No, I think you just wanted a different version of a movie, a different genre or something.
But the
This is
pockets,
not
that's what
that.
I was
This
saying.
is
The
not
pockets for those moments were already exist in the film.
Yeah, but you're making those pockets.
No, they exist. They're right there.
because it was just enough. You're
'Cause
just
it was-
one trying to
They were
sprinkle
lulls.
a little bit more.
They were lulls.
Nah, dude, there were no holes, lows, whatever the hell you're talking about.
There are many holes and lows.
No,
Again, sensibilities. If they would have just humanized these characters a little bit more, I would have been a little more invested.
What would you have like done differently, like with these characters?
These pockets, right? Explore these pockets of like, hey, why the?
there's times when they're like,
It's not needed.
Again, for the characters, there's times when they don't see a
walking
dinosaur.
around.
Yeah,
Just walking around.
And through those moments, we kind of skip over them timeline wise, just so we can get back to the moments when they're in danger and see a dinosaur.
Right,
And those are the
but
moments we
like-
love.
Yeah,
But like, what would you
for
have?
instance, as an example, right? As a very almost on the nose example that could have been probably relatively easy, right? If the kid, right, the boy, he's obsessed with Alan, right? Or yeah, right.
Yeah,
He's
the
obsessed
main
with the
guy, yeah.
paleontologist, right?
Yeah.
He read his book. He's obsessed with him. But the sister could give a shit to an extent, right? If we would have explored the sister being scared of reptiles, and she overcomes that through this relationship.
Or eating a burger at the end.
Well, you can kind of.
All right, she's vegetarian,
Well,
right?
don't you kind of like get the hint that she's a hacker? She's not into like the old outside. She's an inside girl.
No, she's just a
The
plot.
only reason, yes, she's a plot device. The only reason she exists is so that she could save the day in the end of the fucking
Yeah,
film.
like, wait a minute.
And
I
what is
know
wrong
this.
with that?
No, man, there's no character in that.
Yeah.
She's a plot device.
She has as much utility
Bro,
as a
But
She
if,
was there-
but if,
she
but
was
if
there
there
to
would have been a
help
moment,
save the kid
but if
from
there
the
were a moment
door.
where the car drops and they're talking about, oh man, we saw this fucking big ass T-Rex, like, oh man, like I can't see lizards on the ground because I'm afraid of them, but this, I encountered my greatest fear on a macro scale. That's an art.
What if, like, again, in the pocket when they're walking around, what if we just had a moment when the sister goes up to Grant and be like, "Hey, can you just tell him something?" Like he's freaking out, like to her brother,
Bingo.
like, and then he has to have this awkward interaction where he doesn't like kids, he doesn't know how to talk, but he has to kind of grow because he's in a moment
Growth.
where what matters is helping
that's-
out this kid so that way he
And
can
what
get
pissed
over
me
it.
off is that the pockets already existed. Number one, number two, the pockets are filled with awkward moments that even pissed me off upon this viewing. Was like the little girl tripping and falling, and for fucking what?
You know what it is?
Fuck that dude.
You guys are talking about the right thing to do. And
No,
it
it doesn't have to be cheesy. You guys,
Oh, why don't you have to be the bigger brother, or the bigger or the adult in here?
it's not about the right thing.
know what?
It's about the situation.
It's about the human
There's
thing.
movies.
No.
They've made documentaries where they use CG to just make dinosaurs, and they talk about what dinosaurs maybe did. Like there's all these Discovery Channel, or I remember Animal Planet used to have a bunch of them. They were just like dino documentaries. Hour and a half, nothing but dino. But nobody cares about those because that as a movie kind of sucks. Like you
Hey,
just don't.
good
you just,
example,
like-
because there was
like,
nothing. But in this one, they sprinkle a little bit of
They sprinkle people. That's what
Yeah,
connects you to
a
it. That's
little
what
bit of
makes you
humanity.
feel the moments. Like the fact that you see them scared and the fact that you see them
Trying
going
to-
through challenges.
Yeah.
You grip onto that. So what we're saying is that to make
You're
a
drawing at the
stronger-
heartstrings in places you know people they're gonna get hit in.
in a bigger way to create a stronghold with people is make the characters more real. Make them go through
three-dimensional.
something,
You're
Then
gonna make
go
the
watch another
fucking
movie.
dinosaur
Go watch
three-dimensional.
another movie
Go
then.
You're
watch
gonna
the
make-
Animal Planet documentary
Yeah, go
about
watch
nothing
an
but
Animal
dinosaurs.
You're gonna make the dino
No.
three-dimensional. Make the fucking human three-dimensional.
No.
You know what? Like in Jurassic World, when they have like one of, I think his name's Blue, right? The Velociraptor that
The
has like
chick.
a bunch
It's
of
a she, but yes.
yeah, she that has a bunch of personality. They even make Blue go through its own arc where it's untrainable, and then at the very end, it's trained. Like and then you really connect with that dino.
No, you connect. You don't connect with the dino. You connect with Pratt's character with the dino.
No. You connect with the dino because then when you think it dies, you feel bad.
Oh, sure, but
originality.
but I
They
think
want
you-
to see what they always want
I
to see.
think you
Like,
feel
what
that
they always
because
see.
Chris Pratt, that's his favorite.
Yeah.
So like you feel it
Yeah.
through him. You feel it through the humanity. Again, the dog on the side of the road thing.
But that connects you because
Yeah,
if you watch
yeah.
like the dino documentary and the dino dies, who gives a shit?
They've been extinct for thousands of years. Who gives a shit?
But those
The
moments
scientists
really
give a shit. What do you mean?
Not even in this film they gave a shit anymore. They were
Well, I
like,
bet you
you know
probably-
what? Fuck it, man. Leave them extinct. We done fucked up, man. Don't bring it back to
there's
life.
a zebra right now that probably just got eaten by a lion. No one cares.
But when you see a fucking velociraptor getting by a T-Rex and thrown around, it's like, oh yeah. Fuck,
Damn right.
Why? Because they're fictional?
Okay, you know what? Fine. I will add 0.05.
Got him.
Why? Why?
I
Because
was bullshitting the whole time.
5 now?
yeah, it's 7.55. I will add
take it.
0.05
Why is that?
just because I loved two key moments. One, whenever the T-Rex bites anything, it needs to like vigorously, like my dog, shake it around.
Kill it?
Yeah, like those were so great. Like I wish they were like. I wish they were like gorier and bloodier. Like
That
I wish
first
it
one
was
got me,
worse.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Like the kid's like, oh, there's so much blood. I really wanted to see that. Just things exploding. The second one is when the kid gets electrocuted. And I just found it hilarious that they're like, oh, he's about to jump, and then he just gets shot out. Just
That made you laugh
they
out
just-
loud during the screening.
They just
it was
stiff.
so yeah.
Oh, by the way, where did you say like, oh, you laughed like the Velociraptor where he pops out underneath?
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's because you feel
It's
like
funny.
No, it's because you know what,
like-
dude? The animatronics facial expressions are so dumb. That was an animatronic.
Yeah,
That facial expression
It's,
is
it's
like,
an animal. Like,
they
isn't
look
it the
like
same
puppets.
feeling?
they're
It's
like,
like,
yeah, they're just like
it didn't look like a puppet to
was a
me,
puppet.
but like,
they're
what's an animatronic?
Oh,
which is
okay.
But
an
that's the
electric
same thing.
puppet.
Like for me, it's like the same thing when you see a dog just like, like
it's because in the CG, like pay attention next time you see it. Like in the CG, look at the expressions of the animals, and they're showing something. They're angry or they're
Yeah.
hunting. Their eyes are moving. They're
And in the
flapping, and
behind the
then
scenes-
when he just pops up, he's like,
but then
like
again,
burp,
but isn't
you know?
it like a real animal? Like when the dog just pops up and it just looks stupid.
but it's the stupid tongue out thing almost. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just dumb.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's so funny because
It's an animal.
The fact that you guys laughed, look, it wasn't even me. The fact that you two specifically laughed when that happened
God.
just has everything. They just, You know, it was a very serious moment in the film.
Yeah, and
This guy's hunting. Like, it was a very serious moment in the film, and you guys
also,
laughed at
have you
his
seen a
derpy
cat
look.
hunt? Like they look stupid when they hunt. They're just like
This is a fictional fucking.
these are animals that exist and they possibly look stupid doing it. You know, like
They probably look stupider because now that we confirmed that they have wings and feathers and shit, they
Exactly.
probably looked even stupider. They look like Big Bird walking around like a fucking idiot.
Big chickens.
okay. So fun fact: Velociraptor was even tinier than that.
Yeah.
So that's more based on the Utahraptor, which almost predicted the Utahraptor.
Fun fact, yeah. So
It's
like,
weird.
They finished this film, and then like a year later, they discovered fossils of the what they call in Utah the Utah raptor, right? The Utah raptor's official scientific name is Utahraptor spielbergili. So they named it after Spielberg
Nice.
because it was almost like a prediction. Like everybody was like, "No, dude, they were small," and Spielberg's like, "No, we're gonna go for these big motherfuckers," and then they actually do exist.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, by the way, quick thing.
Yeah.
In the helicopter when they're arriving, and they're like, "Why did we haven't seen just trying to put on their seatbelts and that stuff?" And I was like, because I read something recently. I don't know if this is confirmed, like, or this was the intention of Spielberg or whatever. Everyone is able to like click, 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 click,
Yeah.
click, right? And then it's Alan Grant when he has just two the same end, like he has to like tie them.
Oh wow.
Life finds a way. It's like a play on. They're all
I
females.
love that.
But they found a way to reproduce.
Right.
He found a way to tie himself.
Really? I like that.
So I was like, oh,
There's,
so
a,
that's
there's a
fun.
reason to put it in there, just like you guys say.
Because of that, I'll give it a .0001 more.
You can keep
I'll
that
go-
0.1
I'll do
more.
I'll give it a 7.30.
Nah, it's alright. You can keep it.
Man, if we had the time, I'd explore that even deeper. Like maybe it's like anytime humans feel scared, they feel the need to add some type of protection. And all they were feeling scared for in this helicopter was that it was kind of jolty and a little bit, and they were about to go into some real shit. And all they're needing is protection
No.
of their own making. They can't find it.
You know what I would have added? I would have added more like outlets that they could have plugged something in, but it's only female ends, like for everything. Like it's just there's no male.
Just scissoring around, huh?
No, you know what they need? They need more cowbell.
More.
That's a good sound.
Cowbell.
You know-
More cowbell.
Cowbell.
All right.
Oh, also,
Dino fact number 1.
2.
they're dead.
No, they're not. There's alligators. And
What?
Birds. What? Also
Birds.
what?
You know, they also probably played into that whole female thing with Alan Grant's character because all the dinosaurs are female, but then he's like, "Oh, you gotta
yeah, what was
wait
up with
here."
that? What do you think you're...
Well, again,
Oh,
like,
like he was a
He's-
macho
yeah,
piece of shit.
yeah.
And then...
Well, he was only a piece of shit once into a rude kid.
Yeah, you guys are really...
No, but think about the
pushing
Wu
that.
character. The Wu character, even Laura Dern's character is like, "What the fuck do you mean?" Wu's character, he says, "We deprive them of that,"
Oh, like
and Laura Dern's
it's
character is like, "Deprive."
oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
like
see that.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's-
There is a macho element, I think.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and then
okay.
later on, it's like, "Oh,
why don't
we
you make
got
them all dudes?
yeah, we got to go like turn on the power," and
it's
it's
more
like,
aggressive,
"Oh,
maybe.
like he's an old frail man." It's like, "Oh, we got to go turn on power. You should wait here because look
Oh yeah,
at you."
there's
You know?
moments. There's some moments. I thought it was just like a.
I also thought that that dynamic kind of existed on their table scene, right? Like he's talking to her at the end of it all.
He
Oh,
has the
yeah.
ice cream. What does she have?
Tries to reach over for the...
No, by the way, for anybody who's listening to the podcast
That's funny.
and has made it this far, one, thank you. Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
But if you can go back and look at that moment when they're eating ice cream and she breaks down, she's like, "I just want to get out of here," and then she grabs
tastes it.
no, and then she grabs a spoon and then like tastes the ice cream. She's like, "At least the ice cream's good." Then they cut to a wide shot. That bowl of ice cream is so
In the
far
middle.
away. It's like the distance between like me to any of you guys
Maybe
right
she already
now.
had it, like you know.
Then it's just on the table.
Universal has money. They hire continuity experts to be
Yeah.
on set. That was an easy
like,
fix.
Wasn't that so
Yeah, it was
like,
like-
ridiculously just?
Maybe she was pissed. Maybe she tossed it. Maybe she's
no,
I
like
don't
because
want it,
no,
you
she
know?
just grabbed it. So again, that
Maybe
means
she grabbed some and went back to her seat.
like I'd have to.
She didn't get up from the table.
Yeah,
no. Like maybe she already had it with her
I'd
before
have
the
to
scene
literally
started.
yank it.
But
and go,
I did notice one continuation error here.
What
They had a
It's-
lot, and a lot of them were fixed by CGI, but it's
Go ahead.
besides the point.
Oh, so one of them, which the T-Rex, the lawyer leaves and the door is open on the car, right? So that when the T-Rex crosses the path of Malcolm and Alan, the door's closed. and then it's open again once we're inside
Right.
there with
Oh,
the kids.
uh,
That's
I
the only
can-
thing I
I
spotted.
catch
I got it. Wind.
Nah, it was raining.
No,
I'll say
because
this,
when you
just
get back inside, the door's
on the
open.
technical front, again, movie magic. This is the last thing I'll say. If you go to the Universal backlot tour, I don't think they take you
$10
here
isn't
anymore.
enough,
At least
he
the past
says.
couple times I haven't. But they used to take you down the trail where they filmed the T-Rex chasing the Jeep,
Oh, nice.
and like where they actually filmed it on the Universal lot. And it's just like an empty trail with like greenery, like literally like the palettes that they build to add greens into films.
Okay.
It's just again movie magic, right?
Fair
They
to
left
say.
it, I guess, for the tour, but it's fucking not even exaggerated, like 12 feet
That's
of
it?
track. And they had to like basically like drive. All right, cut. Let's reset. They'll
get
go back,
back.
and they made it seem like eternal, right? So that this
Yeah.
fucking, CGI.
Probably my second favorite
Well,
scene.
Do you want to know
partly
a cool
animatronic.
Fun fact is, and you probably already know this, but the T-Rex is apparently canon. That's the same T-Rex
Yeah.
in like every Jurassic Park film. I forgot what her name is, like Rexy or something like
just
that.
Rex.
No, but yeah, it has a
something
name
like
like
that.
Rexy, and apparently Rexy is canon. Also, I don't know why in the Dallas Natural Science Museum, they have one of the miniature models that they used to model Rexy after, but it was like the one used for the film, just casually in Dallas.
That's awesome.
Were the dinosaurs treated properly on set?
Nah,
They're
man,
dead.
Fucking hated them.
still
Now
leave 'em in
Steven
storage.
Spielberg as
Torch them
a
afterward.
rap gift. By the way, the whole the whole T-Rex being canon thing. Yeah, like that's why I said there was an arc. He comes back to, or she comes back to get the other big
Yeah, that one was
motherfucker.
very obvious, I think, because like they were in Nubler, right?
I
And she had
learned
the
that.
And they had
scars.
him. She was in a shipping container.
I matter, damn it.
And then
And plus, like she has like all the old scars from like the previous.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but fun fact for the rap gifts, Spielberg did a fucking like life size of the Velociraptors, and gifted them to all like the cast.
Oh, that's so cool.
And like people like Laura Dern has it in her kids' room. ¿Cómo se llama este güey?
Sam Neill,
No.
Goldblum.
Goldblum has it like prominently displayed as his house, and he like signed all of them and shit like that. So they all got
Really?
pretty cool life-sized raptor rap gifts from Spielberg.
Dude,
That's
I'm just
badass.
hoping for a hat on this set. man.
Seriously, right?
Also, the kid in Jurassic Park.
The girl.
Not the kid, like the boy. Sorry.
What about him?
He comes out in Pacific, and he comes out in I think what was that Freddie Mercury movie? Bohemian
Rhapsody? That's who?
He's the bass player.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Fact check.
I gotta see because
Oh,
Look up the
yeah, that
kid.
makes a lot of sense. In the Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't remember
I love
the
that
Pacific.
No, but who is he?
And
The
Pacific
kid.
is another main character in that one. He's the
The
one.
boy.
not Pacific Rim, man.
Go down.
No,
Oh, okay.
Pacific.
Whit
The
Hertford
show.
on the right.
okay.
Oh, no, that's the volunteer boy.
Wait,
Man, they don't
Cameron-
even get top
Cam-
billing. Yeah, Joseph Mazzello. Joseph Mazzello. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that is.
Wait,
Yeah,
click
that's crazy.
it. Wait, click on what has he been in?
Yeah, that's the.
He's the bass player in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
And when they play Another One Bites the
Well, that's
Dust,
right, he's also in
Really?
Social Network.
That's right. He's the roommate.
Yeah.
He's the roommate. Oh, wow, cool. What I do know is that the little girl, she actually got interested in dinosaurs and became a paleontologist.
Wow.
the hacker.
Yeah, with the consultant on this film, Jack something. She's
Yeah,
very famous,
and then
she
also-
like worked with him.
And then also like Spielberg, like he like helped out these kids a lot in their lives, dude. Like I think
Oh,
even
he does,
though,
man. Like Bong Joon-ho is a Wong Kar. What the fuck is his name? The kid.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Short round.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh man,
Kihei Kwan.
Ki-hei
Kihei Kwan has said that like Spielberg always followed him around. Drew Barrymore.
No, would check in on him.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
like he
But I don't know, like Alfred Hitchcock type of stuff, right?
no.
No, he didn't.
No, like he would like check in on like with Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore went through a stint. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but obviously she was an ET. She was a little girl in ET.
yeah.
But she comes from a very famous family, the Barrymores.
Yeah, yeah.
They're very famous actors from like since like the 1800s and shit. So she grew up kind of wild. You know, she always wanted to be an actress. But she was like in Playboy and shit and modeled nude and all this shit. And like Spielberg like fucking hated that era, and he always tried to look out for her and like
Nice.
talk to her and sit her down and shit. And then Drew Barrymore became Drew Barrymore, like wholesome Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, Chapman's.
And then, like look at Kihei Kwan, you know, like he says that Spielberg always looked after him, even after the Goonies and everything. Like he'd
Hell
check
yeah.
in with him.
Okay, Dr. Brown.
Yeah. So yeah, Spielberg, I'm sure he'd check
Yeah,
in on
on
all
your
these
butts.
guys. In fact, I think it was Kihei Kwan who said that every year, no matter without fail, he'd get a Christmas gift from Spielberg every
Huh.
year.
I thought it was Christmas card.
Or card.
I thought it was a gift, but anyways.
Well, people
Probably
consider
secretary. He's
cards.
not gonna remember that. Shit.
Jurassic Park, ladies and gentlemen.
What was before we ended? What was your favorite parts? Or part?
End credit.
I really like the. I don't know why I always like the presentation scene of like when they're in the desert with the students and shit like that.
Yeah, I really like
always
that.
like that. Always just kind of brings me joy when watching this. Like, oh, I like that scene.
Okay. Yours?
It's very cliche, the T-Rex scene.
Is it with the water, or just when he jumps over the fence, or which one?
The whole sequence, like when the goat's gone, and I was like, "Where's the goat?"
Yeah.
Oh,
and with the
that was-
glasses. I remember
So
that,
that
so much.
whole part is just as a kid, like it gave me nightmares too.
Yeah,
like
dude.
it's the good kind of nightmare, you know, like
Yeah, the
it's
not.
You know
just
what?
like it's
Even the
water,
the
and, like,
Tremors,
everything.
they created them with guitar strings.
Yeah, like they were playing a guitar string to give
It
it.
was the only way they were able to do it. They
Just
couldn't
under the-
tap or nothing. Yeah, they just like put guitar strings and.
Yeah,
You know, I also the part that gave me chills more than anything growing up was when the cart's getting crushed and filling up with mud. And I think just because it was the kid characters and I was a kid, I was like, that's terrifying. Like I would die. Like, you know, just mud filling
yeah,
up. But
and just the iconic noises, like the roar.
Oh man, the
What is it?
roars
What is
were
it?
so
The
it's
roar.
like alligator,
Oh,
lion,
yeah.
elephant,
Elephant.
baby elephant.
Wait,
Yeah.
Like it's just a
But
combination of amalgamation.
I heard,
Yeah, I heard something else too.
I don't know if you
There's
heard the same thing.
the part where
No.
that's a Rottweiler just
Really?
down to doing that.
No, I heard the same thing, but for the raptor noises because they were trying to get a very distinct noise. Do you know it?
I heard something about that. Let me see.
What do you? What'd you hear?
I know the coughing is from a real person, I think.
No. So what happened is that they were trying to get distinct noises, and they needed something for the raptors. Apparently, they sent somebody out to go record these two. I think it was like Galapagos tortoise or like the really old
mating.
ones mating, and then they just pitched it.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's
so
true.
like the raptor noises are just these two turtles getting
Humpy,
it on.
you know?
But apparently, like there was a dude. Like the story goes that he was like he spent a good like 12 hours just watching these turtles and trying to.
You don't have to watch. It's
No.
sound. You could just leave the sound running for all day for all you.
The toy is just kind of like.
Dude, he's done.
Okay, you gotta do it, so.
Oh dear God, Austin, any favorite moments?
I do remember that
Destroys the
one.
restroom and the warriors.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Too.
Yeah,
funny.
dude, I didn't remember that until I saw it. I was like, oh, that's true.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know what you guys think.
Inspired the title of Jurassic Park, which is probably the saddest Futurama episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, I didn't even have to say anything else.
See, that's all we need Jurassic Park for. Jurassic Park.
Not true. We taught a lion to eat cooked
What's next week?
Oh, that's right. Oh god.
Next week is Sharknado.
Yeah, bro. I've been waiting. for
Right,
this,
because it
bro.
made so much money and did so much on the blockbuster front.
Hey, your mom. Okay,
Each
like
sequel just gets better, bro. Come on, that's like, come on.
I
But
watched-
define better.
Like in every which way, dude.
I did watch the first and the second one, and I stopped after that, and I saw somebody do a full breakdown of every single one, and they just described the experience as getting stupid over time, and they're worried that they're gonna have like irreversible action.
Oh,
because
dude, I feel like I lose brain cells. I refuse to watch any sequels
Yeah,
of
same,
Sharknado.
same.
I wanted you to see the second one. That's
no.
where you can stop. Like after that one, stop. You know,
I'm already stupid enough, bro. I'm worried
You know,
I'm gonna need a
I wanna
helmet.
bet.
I'm
Damn
saving
it.
brain cells right now.
Wait, you guys are doing blockbusters and you guys haven't done Terminator 2?
They were on the
Classic
list.
blockbusters.
They were on the list, but
Too new.
Too new.
Yeah,
What?
like OG blockbusters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll end this with a fun fact. James Cameron was originally attached. James Cameron wanted to buy the rights and direct this himself. He loved the novel.
I could see
That
that from
would've been
Avatar.
interesting.
And he says that like Spielberg like fleeced him because he says hours before I could even bid on the rights, they were already sold. Like he made a secret deal.
Oh, wow.
That's how good Spielberg was, right? But he
bro.
says he's like, but after seeing the film, he's like, I knew Spielberg was the right one because I would have made this shit like Alien. Like I would have
That
made
would've been
this shit
cool.
like a rugged, like rated R, bloody, gory mess. And
That would've been
Spielberg
cool.
wanted to make this for the masses.
See, there's a lot of people who are like, I guess like just recently finding out it was a novel. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, no.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the person who wrote that novel was the same one who wrote the novel that inspired Pirates of the Caribbean. Because that guy, the one who wrote it, like
There's no novel.
Are you
Pirates
sure?
of the Caribbean was
It's a
inspired
ride.
by
Yeah,
a
no.
Disney ride.
Plus,
No,
Michael,
but they-
Michael
for some of the story
Yeah, literally
elements,
off the ride.
Oh, I don't know. Michael
No,
Crichton
no.
has always been like sci-fi.
Yeah, also like the only other film that he's really, really known for is he wrote the screenplay for Twister.
Oh, really?
new one?
I didn't know that.
Well, I don't know about the new one, the original.
Oh,
Oh,
you said Twisters, my bad.
He
Yeah.
died in like the early 2000s.
Oh,
I
did he really?
think. Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, motherfucker made a lot of money though, dude. Like
Be okay though, right?
the only thing like that's why I said that there's a good basis of comparison and a bad basis of comparison. When Hollywood wants to buy your shit and is giving you everything under the sun, like it's a good sign, right? Like they
Yeah.
obviously. But when you're developing a film before even a script is written, the same thing happened in The Godfather. They were a go, but because they were basing them. So the reason that like The Godfather had such great kind of success, even just cinematically, is because they stuck to the book. They wanted to adapt a book, and they stuck to the source material. So the script was
So
almost
that's the only reason why it's good?
no. But that's why you kind of
Well,
like
that's your criteria to start with
it's
a
a
good
good
film.
basis of comparison in the sense that if you're gonna stay the track, that you're gonna stick to the script. And not to mention the writer of the writer of The Godfather wrote the script. In this scenario, the writer of Jurassic Park wrote the first draft of the script, and then Spielberg was like, "I'm gonna hire some other dude to rewrite your shit, dude. Sorry." And then that's what we got. Yeah.
It worked. I've read the book and it's like I don't know, like give me like you know how people always complain about like how well the book's better and like
Oh
this
yeah,
and
yeah.
that.
I
But,
don't
like,
bitch, man. Spielberg did the same thing on Ready Player One. I
Yeah.
think the book is better. It's just a more in-depth kind of thing.
My thing is like I'm just consuming Jurassic Park in a different medium. And then
Yep.
and then one is like this one I get to see like the gore and blood well in my head. And this one is like shit.
Yeah.
I get to see them on the screen
You know,
and
I've
the way
just-
they're made.
I've just heard, and the best piece of advice I've gotten is if there is a movie that's adapted off of a book, watch the movie first to get interested in the story, and then
Yeah, for
read
sure.
the
That's
book.
usually what
Yeah.
happens to me a lot.
Because
yeah.
if you do that, then you're never gonna feel this cheated sense.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
but there's always this like moment where if you read the book first and you love that story, and then you come to the movie, the medium's different. And you're
It's
not
like,
gonna
that's
get
why
the same
like
effect.
how like when Stephen King hated so much like The
The
Shining,
Shining.
I was like I don't know like me personally if I would like the book let's say the book is better but like this is a different you're consuming
Yeah,
this
and
sort of like
Kubrick
thing.
is gonna Kubrick.
Different-
You know what I
No,
mean?
right, but like
Different.
you're consuming it in a different way, you know, like
Also, like if you go back to our Shining episode, I'm convinced that Kubrick hated working on that movie to begin with. Like he was not having a good time on
well,
that
yeah,
movie.
he made everyone miserable in
Yeah,
that movie.
and including himself, man. He did over a year of production over this shit. You never do a year over production over anything unless something's going wrong, like genuinely. But by the way, in closing, I think just like Spielberg, he credits this year, the Jurassic Park year, as his most challenging year as a storyteller because he finished. The only reason he did Jurassic Park is because he wanted to do Schindler's List. And the producer said, if you do Jurassic Park, I'll do Schindler's List. That was the trade-off. And he hopped off Jurassic Park, told his buddy George Lucas, hey, can you finish the special effects for me? Because I got to go shoot Schindler's List, and we got a small window. And would teleconference in London, in Germany, he took over 2 like satellite channels to communicate what FaceTime used to be, or what the old version of FaceTime,
This is an old
just
school.
to approve the effects with Industrial Light and Magic, just to finish Jurassic Park. But he was there like, he says, by the time I got to like set for Schindler's, I was over it. I was like, Jurassic Park was so far behind
And
in
then
my
with
head
Schindler's List?
that like, dude, I mean, he's Jewish. It means a lot more to him. It's something to
True,
say.
true,
And he won a million Oscars for fucking Schindler's List. I mean, I think that was his first directing Oscar. Actually, was Schindler's List.
Have y'all seen that?
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. I gotta rewatch it.
Boring. I know. I'll be that guy.
Anyways,
Next week.
it's pretty great to see a storyteller jump off one thing that's inherently different, you know, and say like, this guy is a fucking chameleon. He knows what he's doing on any front, you know.
Yeah.
So kudos to Spielberg. He's
How are
still
we
a masterful
gonna-
storyteller.
How are we gonna wrap up Spielberg month?
I know.
With not a Spielberg film,
War of the Worlds.
we're gonna talk. I haven't seen War of the Worlds. It's the
No.
only Spielberg film.
How
I
many more
haven't seen.
years do you
It's
think
really
Spielberg
good.
has?
What?
How many more years?
10, probably 10 years.
3,
He's gonna Kubrick it out, man.
he
He's
had
gonna-
like 3 films, three, 4 more
More.
films.
1
More.
film.
He's already gonna like wrap up production on his newest like Alien feature.
He's still going?
It's like in the vein of E.T. He's making another alien
like another
type
family-
of film. Well, I don't know if it's family, but in the vein of extraterrestrials.
Yeah, I heard those rumors.
That's
too.
what his new film's gonna be.
Oh wait,
Wanna-
I thought like ET as in like
No,
a
no,
good,
no, just
feel
like-
good like okay.
Just in the vein of an alien.
Interesting.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap up OG Blockbuster Month with George Lucas's, depending on what title you give it,
They're basically the same guy, right?
either Star Wars or Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4. We're talking about 1977 Star
Ooh,
Wars.
let's get the laser disc without the fucking edits that he added in later on.
Or the VHS,
like-
Oh, I do, yeah.
I have the VHS only.
I do too.
Yeah. Let's try that.
Wait, do you have the post?
We gotta see the original one.
Because
We gotta
your
see.
VHS is what you use.
Before
Yeah.
the gun, the shoot, the
No. There's one that added CGI to him. I
That
think.
came out on VHS.
Yeah.
No, I have both.
You had the digital remaster.
I have
or-
both. I have both.
Like, 'cause
Okay.
there was a VHS box set that came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Where they altered some stuff.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
that one and I have the original.
Original?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the originals too.
I said we watched the original.
Which it's funny because it's only called Star Wars, and like the other ones are called.
Yeah.
The only thing,
I mean,
the biggest thing that stands out the most for me is like Greedo, right? The Greedo scene.
Oh no, there's a lot of this.
No, I know there's a lot, but I just said it. That's the biggest thing that stands out for the different versions. Is it gives you a perspective on Han Solo? Is he a gritty, kind of underworld kind of guy, or is he just defending himself? That's a cool argument. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
We'll set the precedent again next week, but when we talk about Star Wars, we're only talking about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we're gonna have to talk
But
about.
it can affect your rating. We're talking about the film only.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, my hope is that I re-fall in love back with Star Wars because I used to love Star Wars and now not so much. So
With which one did it stop?
it wasn't necessarily in the direction it was heading in. I think just again, I started falling in love with. Well, I just started
much?
falling in love
Yeah.
so much with other cinema.
Isn't that what you guys wanted? Like,
No,
why don't you
like
guys
I was
do
having the
this?
same thing with like superhero fatigue. Like after
Oh, yeah, I
Endgame,
can
like
see that.
it just felt like there was one popping out every 5 minutes, and then I really didn't care about where it was
Yeah.
going and all that.
Same
and
thing with Star Wars.
Ever
What's
since
happening?
like
Yeah.
Disney like put that big wall of like what's gonna happen in the next 10 years, this is too overwhelming.
And
Like,
again,
hold on, I
you
thought
know what
everybody liked-
inspired that?
I thought
is-
everybody liked the whole Mandalorian, right? Everybody was like fascinated with
After
that.
Mandalorian is when it got bad.
What happened
Yeah.
after Mandalorian?
Boba Fett and.
And then
Even Boba Fett, you guys didn't like that one?
The only reason I was remotely interested is because Rodriguez did that.
Yeah, and it
whole
was-
season.
And then it just. All right, we'll
I
talk
don't know.
about that
I don't
next
know.
week.
Like a lot of people are saying, like Endor, like all these new ones are great. I haven't
just
given them a
honestly
chance.
just
I saw the
I
last
never
one I
gave
saw
him
was
a chance.
Last Jedi, and I loved it.
The film.
The film, yeah.
They are making a Mandalorian film.
I know they're working on a new trilogy, right?
Yeah, like
okay,
set
no, yeah. Okay.
Dude,
thousands
doesn't
of
that,
years
like,
before.
stress
the
you
original.
out?
Yeah, okay, now, yeah. I
Like,
see what
if
you
I
guys
was
do.
going-
How sad is that? Oh man, like it's just
Yeah,
it
back then it
stresses
was
me
like,
the fuck
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
more and
like-
more.
By the way, like in preparation, if you guys can genuinely, I think it's something like 6 episodes. If you guys are into like
Oh, the podcast?
podcasts, listen to Blockbuster, the podcast. Listen to the Star Wars episode specifically. It's basically this group of guys who make teleplays, radio shows of like how they made Star Wars. So like George Lucas's character, Spielberg, Scorsese, De Palma, like
pretty cool.
it's fucking cool.
But
It's
what do you
like
think-
the
Oh, wait.
production value is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Like, is it
I've heard about
cartoon or them?
No, it's a podcast.
It's them,
You
like-
hear it. You
Okay.
hear with sounds and effects and
Oh, okay, okay.
you know somebody walks in through the door and they hear the you know whatever.
I think I might have heard like an
It's
episode.
fucking cool, man,
Yeah.
and they like it's very accurate to how Star Wars was made and shit. So check that out
Blockbuster.
if you can. Blockbuster, the podcast. And they have it not just on like Star Wars, but they have like a Jaws episode. They have a Jurassic Park episode. Like they have all these episodes, but the Star Wars one I think is my favorite, and it just like shows you what Lucas went through and why he didn't want to direct anymore past a certain amount of films, and that's really cool. So go check it out.
Nice.
But next week we'll talk about Star Wars. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys want us to touch on, let us know.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the WatchTower podcast.
Yes.
Brought-
By the way.
What?
4K scan of the original VHS.
Ah, there you go. Perfect.
Ooh.
That's what we'll watch.
Thank you for
Thank you
joining
for
us.
tuning in.
Love you guys.
Sponsored by Cheetos.
All right.
Right
Not
the way.
in the slightest.
Dinosaur noise.
You're the turtle in this version, right?
Oh man, I didn't say my fun fact. So my friend in high school, his special skill was that he could make the Velociraptor noise on command.
And put it on the yearbook.
Yeah, and he put it on the yearbook.
That explains a lot of
Good
high
night,
school.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Rex Techno.
Techno Rex.
Techno Rex.